Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and do an updated game review on Realm. Realm is a game that I used to play a lot. I played a number of seasons. I'm very, very familiar with the game. I haven't played much recently because of the longer seasons. Just not my cup of tea as far as the longer seasons go. But I'm a big fan of the game itself. So I wanted to go ahead and do an updated review of this to give you kind of, for those new players or people that are not familiar with Realm, some background as far as the game goes, give you a quick walkthrough of what the gameplay looks like, give you some background on the game itself, and then at the end of this review, I'm going to go ahead and give you my personal Warrior Lion score. It may be a little bit different than you think it might be, but you'll find out in the end. I'll give you my pros and cons, some things I take a look out for, and something that just for new players that are looking for a new game, some details behind, some reasoning behind my score, so you can go ahead and take a look at it if you choose to do so, and give it really your own score and give it your own review itself, so you can understand the game a little bit better. Before we jump into the video, I know I have to do everyone's least favorite part of the video and let you know this disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please make sure you do your own research before you jump into any project. Don't take my word or anything that's said in this video as financial advice or advice in any way. I'm just a gamer playing a game and reviewing games as part of this. I am not telling you to jump into any project or anything along those lines. Do your own research, make sure it's right for you. Go ahead and pause this video and read this thoroughly before we jump into it. All right, so let's get back to the video. Before we actually dive into the game and I show you the different parts of the game itself, let's talk about a little bit of the background, a little intro to the game itself. In order to go ahead and check out the game itself, if you want to follow along while we're going through this, go ahead to realmnft.io. I'll have a link in the description down below if you want to go ahead and do that. It is a wax blockchain game, really a resource strategy game that has a seasonal approach to it. So essentially you start out with nothing and you got to build up every season, try and rank up the leaderboards. It's a lot of fun if you go ahead and get into it. It is web-based, so you don't have to do a downloadable client. It is mobile friendly. You go ahead and check that out. They actually have a mobile app, so you have the choice of going through the browser or you can go ahead and use the app depending on your preference. There is free to play, and this is something that most people I don't think are aware of. Realm has a free to play option. The challenge with the free to play option, which we'll dive into a little bit more, you don't earn with the free to play option. It's just an option to allow you to go ahead and test the game out and allow you to try the different features. But if you want to go ahead and earn rewards through it, then you have to go ahead and get an NFT or two. And as far as PvP goes, I did mark here yes, but I'm kind of regretting marking yes because technically it's not PvP other than I guess the competition, the global competitions that they have. And that was kind of the balance that I had there. I wasn't sure to put yes or no. So it's not a straight up PvP as you're playing 1-versus-1 against another player. But during the global competitions, they do put you in teams so you compete against other teams to try and get rewards. So that's why there's a yes there. So I also wanted to put that caveat there. If you go ahead over to realmnft.io, this is what you're going to see there. You can go through all the details. And I mentioned that I played quite a bit of Realm. And as I was playing them, I did a specific series where I followed along my progress, and there's a number of different seasons out there. So if you want to get into it, you can kind of if you want to get into the details, I should say, you can check out some of those series. There's one series that's a complete beginner series. There's one that's I'm pushing for trying to get the top place in gold. So there's a whole bunch of different options out there that you can use as you progress through the game itself. But let's go ahead and dive into the game. And what I'm going to show you from the game is I'm going to initially show you what's available as far as the free-to-play goes. And then I'm going to show you some footage from previous seasons where I went ahead with, and I was actually competing and show you the different parts of the game, how they look a little bit different when you're competing. So you go ahead and press Play Realm. It's going to go ahead and ask you to log in. And I may already be logged in. Nope. Let's go ahead and connect my wallet. I'm going to go ahead and use my Wax wallet, and I just realized this is actually new. They are on Polygon. So that is new. I mentioned before that they're a Wax blockchain because that's really all I played with them. But it looks like they are also available for Polygon, which is great news that they're expanding also. When you go in for the first time, again, this is season 10, so it is the first time that I'm jumping in here. You can go ahead. It gives you this little bit of an intro. that you kind of have to sit through, which I may skip though. But what you see here is they're actually popping up some of the leaders. The leaders are by rank, star rank, to go from a 1 star all the way up, and each one gives you kind of different benefits that go along with it. This is the structure of it overall. This shows you the resources that are available, the helpers, and the overall salary, which is different parts of the games that you can earn. The helpers you earn within by playing the game itself. Then you have, right in the middle here is the actual overall world. You start off with Africa as your main one when you're starting out there. Then you expand over to Asia, North America, South America, then eventually Europe and Oceania. So as you progress through the game, it unlocks different areas of the world itself that allow you to do more production and really kind of help you get up the leaderboard itself. On the side, you're going to see there are 6 total, 3 on each side. And what these are is this is where you're going to put your leaders. Your leaders are in charge of the different areas. They give you bonuses along the way. So if I go ahead and click on this one, it's going to show what leaders I have available. And like I said, I'm showing you the free to play. So you get 2 free to play options to start out the game. And the thing you're going to notice, and this is what I mentioned before, is their salaries are 0. So you can go ahead and put them in there. And essentially what's going to happen is it will not increase your RLM, what you need to go ahead and play the game. That's the token for the game itself. Jumping back here, one thing I did want to note about the leaders is you can see that they have team sizes, they have salaries, they have regional bonuses, which again, these don't, but the other ones, if you go ahead and buy NFTs, they'll be available. And then you can see that they do have levels that you can go ahead and boost them up. So the reason I went ahead with this one, because it has a team size of 7, and I'll use this one to actually run missions on. So you put your leader in there, which allows you to go ahead and create your area here. You can go ahead and click on that and build. Now I'll go ahead and put my headquarters. It allows you to build in each areas. Each area has a certain number of buildings that you can go ahead in there and build. So you have to be strategic about what you put in each of the regions. As you continue to open more regions, you have less slots. And what you're going to go ahead and do is you want to go ahead and continue to build. Like I'm going to build a factory here, which is going to create my resources. You can see it crafting down there. And then what I'm also going to do the next is I'll go ahead and build, let's go ahead and build a house so I can go ahead and get more helpers, and that's in there. So as far as that goes, now I have some of those in there. What I'm going to do is now you see I have a slot for 10 helpers. Let's go ahead and just build one more thing as far as storage goes. Again, this is free to play, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But now what you want to do is you want to go ahead, your factory is producing resources. As you can see, I'm producing 5 every minute. And then I can go ahead and actually want to go ahead and build one more, which is going to be my training facility, which will allow me to train helpers, and the helpers go out to the different areas and collect essentially resources or complete different areas that give you rewards. So now that I have that there, I have my core businesses there. If I upgrade my headquarters, I'll have additional slots in here that I can go ahead, and you're going to have limits as far as you need to upgrade your headquarters a certain amount in order to be able to continue to progress. You can see right now that it's not a clicker, it's more of a strategy-based game, which I really enjoy, which is why I played this for a number of seasons. So if I click on train, you'll see I have a couple options down here. I can upgrade, which I'm not going to right now for the sake of this video. I can go ahead and train. And if you click on train, you're going to have a number of helpers if you have the NFTs. But they do give you a free-to-play option as far as a helper to kind of give you some ideas. You can see he's a worker, so workers are basically general characters. It costs me 25 resources to go ahead and create, and they take 45 per helper that I create. So if I want to go ahead, I can go ahead and click on him. I can set the limit, say I want to create 5 of those. Click on 5 and set the limit, and over the next I guess a couple minutes, they're going to go ahead and create helpers that you can go ahead and send on missions. While that's creating, let me go ahead and show you some of the other areas that are critical for this. And again, I apologize, I'm going through this super fast. If you want to get more detailed videos, I do have them available. I just wanted to do a very high level overview. If you look down here, you can see that there are events. going on. There is going to be an XP, a double XP event that's coming up here shortly. They do regular events almost every week throughout the season. There are some breaks, but they do regular events like this, double XP, quicker building, and then they do 3 global events, which is the PvP style games that are events that I mentioned previously. The rankings are important because there's a number of things that you can do with the rankings. The nice thing about the rankings is it does separate it by experience and levels. So you actually have to earn your way up the rankings. You can't just go to the gold ranking and try and compete in that. You have to do well in the bronze ranking to go ahead and move up to the silver ranking, and then do well in that to move up to the gold. And if you don't do well for a season, it actually takes a step back. So you can see I'm in the bronze league. Like I said, it's been a few seasons since I played this competitively. So if I wanted to go ahead and get up to the gold, I need to go ahead and do well in this one to move up. In order to do well, you need to go ahead and earn reputation, which I'll get to here in a second, which will allow you to go up the rankings. But you can see that there are prize pools. You can go ahead and see as far as the rewards go, and you can see what happened last season as far as the rewards go, and how well someone did as far as the resources that they needed. All right, so that's the rewards and the prizes, as I mentioned. In order to get a decent prize, you have to get in the top 100. I'm sorry, like I said, decent ones, the top 100. Otherwise, you get a treasure token. But if you really want to compete and continue to get better, you get in like the top 50, top 25, which will give you some really cool rewards. So each level, each tier has levels and has rewards. So you can go ahead and play as a beginner and still potentially get some rewards from it. All right, there's a few other things. There's a mission log, which we won't go into it. They do have blending, so you can go ahead and blend different resources and leaders together to get higher tiers. They have a store that you can go to purchase with the in-game resources. You can show my NFTs, and you can show the different regions. All right, now that we have a few helpers up here, the way you go ahead and get reputation is you send them on these missions. You can either go to some of these big missions, which are daily missions that give you huge rewards, but they're challenging for new players, or you can go ahead and click on some of these. If I go ahead and click on some of these, like this one right here, if I click on this, you're going to see the reward if I'm successful is 45 reputation and 55 experience. As you continue to progress through the game, those numbers get higher, which is easier for you to go ahead and continue up the rankings. But the lower mission levels, as you can see right here, give you minimal rewards as you go through. So as far as this one goes, the preferred helper is if you had a firefighter, which we don't because we have only the free-to-play workers, but they would do better as far as getting some of the rewards there. So if I go ahead and click on mission brief, this is going to go ahead and show me the helpers that I have available. As we went through before, I only have workers available. So if I rank those up, right now I have a 66% chance of being successful, and I have to go ahead and attach a leader to it since I have 2 free ones. The one leader here. So what they'll get is they'll get XP, and they'll allow you to go ahead and run the missions, and these are the rewards for it. There are a few missions that actually have bonuses that go along with it. You get the reputation, the experience, plus you can get some RLM that goes along with it, the in-game token. But again, I don't have the helper that really works well with this, but we'll go ahead with the 5 workers that I established. It's going to take 3 minutes to go ahead and run. So let's go ahead and do that. You can see it goes there. It's going to sit there for 3.5 minutes, and it's going to come back and let me know if I was successful or not. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. I'm going to skip ahead to the end of this mission, and then at the end of this, we'll go ahead, after I show you that, we'll go ahead and show you what I rated this game from an entertainment perspective. All right, our team just completed the mission. You can see that down there. It was a green check, which means it was successful. The nice thing that goes along with this is if you auto set your workers, it'll continue to produce your workers as long as you have resources for it. And then you'll go here and see the mission logs that go along with it. So if I go ahead and click on the mission logs, what you're going to see is the green check, which means I was successful. There will be a red X if it was not successful. And then I just go ahead and claim my reward. So let's go ahead and claim that. And you can see successful. Yay, good job. Woohoo! And then we move on and you continue that process. The challenge with this is as you go from early stage to mid stage and to end game, there's different resource challenges that go along with it. So every single season they add a little bit of an adjustment that really kind of helps you throughout the season or hurts you throughout the season that you have to work through. So like I said, I have a couple full series as I go through beginner, mid game, and then end game to kind of show you all the different aspects of each part of the game if you choose this game to go ahead and jump into. Again, do your own research before you do that. Obviously, it's a lot more helpful if you have NFTs that give you the resources that you need and to produce and give you all the little bonuses. But if you want to go ahead and test it out, again, it is free to play. All right, now that we walked through the game, gave you a super fast, high-level approach to the game, let's talk about my rating as far as it goes. And let me caveat this, as I do with all of these updated rating videos. This is the rating as of today, as of when I'm recording this, January 26, 2024. And again, this is my personal opinion based on entertainment, not volume, not number of accounts, active accounts. This is how entertained I am with this. As you know, I'm a strategy fan. I love games that are strategy, that are not clickers, which helps this game out quite a bit. And it's the reason I played this game for so long. But as far as my score goes, I gave it a 3.5. And that's as of today, 3.5. There's a few things that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but there's a lot of things I am a fan of. I'd continue to play this if they made some minor adjustments. The main thing that's holding me back, and we're actually going to start with the cons before we get to the pros. The main thing that's holding me back is I like to grind and I like to push for the leaderboards. That's just my personal opinion. The seasons used to be between 5 and 6 weeks, which I thought was a perfect length for the season. And if they were still that length, this would be a solid 4, if not higher. If you go back through my videos, this was a top 3 game for me for a long time when the season was that length. They've extended the seasons to roughly about 12 weeks, which is a long time to grind if you want to get higher on the leaderboards. That's why I reduced it down to a 3.5 star. Again, my personal opinion, but I really think this is a strong game. It's a great seasonal strategy game, especially if you enjoy the 12-week seasons. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun from the beginner all the way to the super competitive people, because they do the tiers, because beginners have a chance to get rewards. You don't have to be a whale to go ahead and really be successful in this game. You can be a beginner and compete at the bronze level, get a decent reward, which will help you grow and really gain NFTs by working your way through the system. It takes time, especially with the longer seasons, but you have that ability there. Plus, it's free to play, so you have a chance to go ahead and test it out before you jump into the game itself, which is a nice thing. And this is one of the few projects out there that's seasonal, that has a ton of events through the entire season. And I mean, like I said, almost every week. It's not every week, but it's almost every week. I think I counted last time, and there's about 9 events in a 12-week season, which was awesome. And so it keeps you interested, especially the global events. The global events are a lot of fun, especially if you're a super competitive person. But as I mentioned, the cons that go along with it is the season just feels too long and grindy. And they have not made a lot of adjustments over the last 3 or 4 seasons. They talked mid-time last year, mid-year, that they had a big thing coming, but they wouldn't really announce anything that went along with it. And the game has been very similar, other than some minor adjustments from season to season, through that time frame, which has made it a little bit stale. But there's still a lot of people that really love this game. So again, my Warrior Line score for this game is 3.5 stars. If they reduce the season, I'll maybe push it up to a 4 star. Let me know what you think. What's your rating for Realm, especially for those that are playing it a lot? I know there's a few people that watch my videos that are still loving Realm and probably give it a 5. That's just my personal opinion as far as the 3.5 goes. I hope you enjoy this. Please let me know if there's any questions or any comments, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.